She's obsessed with my husband and his sister. This is going to be long and probably a little tangled. I need a vent. My husband Anthony, who's 36, moved to this state when he was about 10. His family planted themselves firmly in one church and never left. 3 services a week, every week. That church is where he met Sasha, a 36-year-old woman from his past. They were church friends, the kind who grow up side by side in pews and youth groups. At some point, Sasha developed a crush on him. Anthony, oblivious or simply uninterested, never saw it as a big deal. He wasn't attracted to her. He dated other girls. Life went on. Senior year, Sasha asked him to prom. Anthony thought they were going as friends. So he did what he's always done. He tried to be kind. He gave her a proper, wholesome, platonic prom night. Pictures, a slow dance, gentlemanly, no after-party, no blurred lines, just courtesy. That slow dance, apparently, would live on in Sasha's memory far longer than it did in his. Anthony and I started dating when he was 19. I'm 38 now. Back then, I was just happy to be anywhere he was, so I went to church with him sometimes. That's where I met Sasha properly. We sat together. We ate together. I talked to her easily. Sasha has a chronic health condition. Strict meds. Supervision. She can't drive. People handle her gently, carefully. Kid gloves. The shift was subtle at first. When I started joining church outings more regularly, Sasha began telling people I was excluding her, that I was keeping her away from Anthony. She told her parents, other church members. She once wandered off an amusement park for hours, only to be found alone and upset, blaming me for abandoning her. On a church retreat, she told me she had to stay at the hotel to work on college assignments. She told Anthony's 22-year-old sister, Phoebe, the same thing. The rest of us went out. The next morning, her mother tore into me, accusing me of excluding her daughter, disrespecting the church, disrespecting God. I was around 24 at the time. That was when I stepped back. I distanced myself from Anthony's church. The years rolled forward. Anthony is the oldest sibling, then Phoebe, then a younger sister and brother. As they grew up and experimented with identity the way young people do, clothes, hair, self-expression, Sasha had opinions. I'm a hairstylist, so I became the family colorist. Natural shades, neon streaks, everything in between. The first time Anthony dyed his hair, Sasha had a panic attack. Phoebe's style leans bold. Think oversized silhouettes and dramatic edges. Sasha lectured her about it. About her clothes, about her hair, about her too small, meaningful tattoos, and about Anthony. Even when Sasha left for college, even when she moved out of state for a while, whenever she reappeared and saw Phoebe, the lectures resumed. Like no time had passed. Anthony and I got married 2 years ago. I refused to invite Sasha or her parents. Anthony stopped attending that church, his decision, not mine. I've visited other churches since, but he's not comfortable going. Phoebe still attends the family church and runs sound and virtual broadcast when needed. Last weekend, Phoebe was at the soundboard during a sermon. Sasha, now back in town, sat beside her. That was when it started. She told Phoebe it was such a shame Anthony cut off his female friends when he got married, that she wasn't surprised, that the whole church wished Anthony had married her instead of me. Then she retold the senior prom story, the slow dance, how Anthony almost leaned in for a kiss. And then she asked Phoebe,
Don't you wish he'd married me instead, too?
Phoebe said.
I like my current sister-in-law.
At that point, Phoebe was telling us the story in our living room, and I could feel something between disbelief and secondhand embarrassment pooling in my chest. I don't even remember the rest of what she said because I kept thinking, this woman needs a serious conversation, for her own sake, and Phoebe shouldn't have to sit there absorbing this. Phoebe's boyfriend suggested Anthony should be the one to talk to Sasha. Sit down, or FaceTime. Tell her clearly to move on. I told Anthony he shouldn't text her. She'd probably assume I wrote it. Everyone agrees there needs to be a witness if he talks to her. If Sasha can rewrite prom into near romance, who knows what she might claim after a confrontation? I think Phoebe should be present. She deserves to set boundaries too. Phoebe told me it isn't personal against me. I know she's right. Still, I'm human. There's a part of me that's mildly disappointed I can't even eavesdrop. If I'm honest, I find Sasha's obsession almost absurdly theatrical. I never did anything to her. I'm embarrassed for her more than anything else. Anthony and I haven't seen her in years. But Phoebe has to. She's still in that church. She still sits at that soundboard. And here's the looming shadow over all of it. In a couple of years, we'll all be at Phoebe's wedding, Sasha included. I don't want this simmering fantasy to boil over on Phoebe's big day. I don't want whispered prom stories resurfacing during wedding planning. I don't want drama waiting in the wings. So now we're left with a question. What do you say to someone who's been holding on to a slow dance for over a decade? What does Anthony say? What does Phoebe say? Because silence hasn't worked. And confrontation feels like striking a match in a room full of old stories. If you like this story, please like and subscribe for more thrills of all kinds. Thank you for watching.